This car came all the way from Miami. Well, he got here at 4 o'clock this morning. It's Memorial Day, by the way. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. He got here at 4 o'clock so the car would be adequately cool so we could work on it right away and turn him around so he can drive back home. He's getting AP2 retainers and keepers. As a part of doing that, we do a new valve cover gasket kit. The whole kit, not just the gasket, but the grommets too, and the tube seals, as well as a valve adjustment. He's also getting new OEM spark plugs. He's supplying a TCT and supplying a clutch master cylinder. Car's cool. We don't want to run it any more than possible, so I drove it just enough to get in the shop, and now I'll push it the rest of the way here. So really nice car, 89,000 miles. We're gonna look it over, see if it needs anything else. It does have an aftermarket clutch master cylinder, which is why we're doing a brand new OEM one, because the aftermarket ones are known to fail. I've mentioned this so many times in the past. This is the way I look at this. This customer got here at 4 a.m., which means he left his house at 1 a.m. So he's put a whole night before he got here. It's not just a marketing thing for us. It's not just to tell you, hey, you should drive across the country and come and see LHT. It's also kind of a reminder for you shop owners and you techs. If you're working on someone's car, treat it like your own. They're bringing it to you, they're giving you money, they're handing you the keys because they trust you and they want you to treat it like it's something special, which it is. There we go, that's the way I look at things. We're gonna go through his list and I'll show you it, and we'll show you a few steps along the way as we do this and show you what it looks like as we take it apart. So it is Memorial Day. Now someone's gonna go, why are you working on Memorial Day and why are you making George come in on Memorial Day? That's awful, you should give him the day off. Well, we do the work as the work is needed, and then when we have time, we put in our extra days. And we've got a thing here where one Friday a month we take off. So that's kind of like our 1 day off, and we'll take it when needed. And then if we catch up and we're at a point where we're actually ahead and we can take a day off, we do. But we always put our customers first. This was the day when this customer could make it. It's a long way, it's a long trip. We want to make sure we accommodate him the best we can. I think I told you about this in the last video. George has been with me for 10 years now. 2 years ago, we started a retirement fund for the two of us, which LHT pays for, and we max it out as high as we can put in there is what we get. There's no tool bill. He doesn't pay lunches. He doesn't pay drinks. Of course, you guys supply Starbucks coffee, which thank you so much. But waters, that kind of thing, I pay for. All you have to worry about is working on our customers' cars. Always make sure that they are OEM, because there's so many knockoff parts out there that will cause issues. So there's a few extra little things that we do, and I'm not going to share this with you because it's what we call our LHT TLC. There's a few little secrets that we do to make things a little bit better. So he has our steel master cylinder brace right here. One thing to note is put the washers on the wrong way around. They should be on the bottom. That is to take up that difference in shape on the material. And it also stops it bending on the sides like this. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. But there's a few little things, I'm not going to show you what they are, but it's like that saying, a bunch of small things add up to a big thing. And that's some of the things that we do. It's to a point where the customer gets the car back and everything just feels better. And it's not just one thing, it just overall feels better. Right from opening the door, it's right down to putting a little bit of grease on the hinges. It's, if need be, sometimes adjusting the handle. It's adjusting the clutch stop, that kind of thing. It just makes the car suddenly feel better. And it's that extra little thing that don't cost you much, but it goes a long way and it makes the customer so much more happier. Then the customer does the work for you. He goes out and advertises for you. You just got to give him a little bit of extra free stuff, make him happy, and he'll do the work for you. So it has the burgundy lid, which is usually a dead giveaway. And surprisingly, it's not leaking. He said it was put in about 6 months ago, so I'm actually surprised because they usually leak right from the get-go. In fact, we've had some that when we install them while we're bleeding the clutch, they break, which is pretty bad. But he's got the factory OEM one, so peace of mind, which is sometimes what it's all about. Peace of mind, knowing that the right one is in there. So this is what you're going to see when you take all of the chems and the mechanism out, you're going to see everything exposed right here. This is why we always say do intake and exhaust, especially because the retainers are the same part number. So if they're weak on one side, kind of goes to show they're probably weak on the other. We can't really see until we take them out. I want to show you one side by side. We've shown this video so many times. The AP2s are a little bit thicker, and it's usually on this edge where they get razor sharp when they're starting to wear and get thin. You can kind of see right there. Often when you take them out and flip them over, you can start to see some fine cracks if it's going to crack. And some of them we're seeing them opening up pretty bad. But if you take them off and put them on a glass table, the glass being completely flat, you can usually feel if they're starting to get a curve to them. Because rather than sitting there completely flat, it's almost like you can rock them on the glass. Whoa. So I said he'd put some snacks in the trunk. He wasn't kidding. Red, blue Powerade. And chips. Awesome. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. That is much appreciated. So retainers and keepers are back in. TCT clutch master cylinder is in. We're just bleeding it now. It's pretty much finished, but I just want to let you hear a sound just so you're familiar with it. You'll hear it under here. Go ahead. Hear that noise right there? Pretty common. Most of the time that sound is your release bearing moving. It creaks a little bit. Sometimes it's the ball on the end. That's the easiest part. Sometimes you get in there and put a little bit of grease on it, it might fix it. Most of the time it's the release bearing, which is so important to use the Euro grease. That way it doesn't sling off or get overheated. Some of the cheap greases will get hot and then it's no longer a good grease and you'll start getting that creaking sound. So looking it over, we didn't see anything else that needs to be addressed. It's actually a really clean car. You can kind of see by how clean the valve cover and spark plug cover was. We did do a little bit of a refinish, but it's so nice already. So that TCT should take that rattle out of it now. Very nice. Definitely a nice sounding motor. So we'll just take this for a quick test drive, just make sure everything's good. It should be. The clutch adjustment is perfect. It should feel a whole lot better. Now, I think we'll start on the next one, but first off, we gotta do lunch, George.
Okay.
What do you want for lunch?
Something edible?
Alright, that narrows it down. Yeah. I'll see what I can do. This is the next car we're working on as a glance. Any guesses what it is? So if you guessed S2000 CR, you are correct. This is actually a past customer. This is his second S2000. He has a silver one that we supercharged back in 2017. This one is getting some pretty basic maintenance and some new headlights. This is something really common on S2000s. If you can kind of see, get the light right, it kind of looks like it's got fragment cracks in the lens, and it kind of pulls the car down a little bit. It does have PPF, and it's not a very good PPF. It might be just because it's old. This is what is removed, and as you see by here, it's got kind of a fuzzy look if I can get my camera to focus on it. And it's a bit of a pain to take off. I think you're supposed to remove the PPF after 5 years. Don't quote me on that, depends on the manufacturer, but when you leave it on, it can be a lot of work to take it off. He's getting a valve adjustment. He supplied his own valve cover gasket kit. We'll just verify it's the right one, and that is a Honda part. Then we'll do this and the headlights. Let me show you the headlights that he's got. Now people are going to say, well, it's going to deteriorate, why not just polish the lenses? You can't polish the lenses when they crack, and most S2000 customers keep the car in the garage, keep it super nice. It's just kind of a special car, especially now they're getting older. I mean, we have two of them right here. Real nice yellow one that we're actually starting next week. There's a Civic Type R exhaust. If you guys are not keeping up with the channel. There it is, man. Look at that. Recommendation: factory S2000 headlights. Keep them clean, keep them nice, and they will last a long time. This, of course, is the way to replace the headlights. Somebody just put a meme out the other day and said, why does every car manufacturer require to take the bumper off to set the headlights out? Well, if you're Honda, you require the headlights to be taken out to take the bulbs out, and the bumper needs to come off to take the headlights out. So we're not complaining now. It's not that bad of a job. Just takes a bit of time. There's a quick side-by-side comparison. As you start to move that, you see that kind of fragmented look in the lens. They can be refinished and they'll look reasonable until you get close up on them. Nothing beats a factory OEM headlight though. Look at that. So everything has to be removed. I'll show you real quick. I've shown this on past videos. Right here. So the ballast, that little short harness and the bulb has to be transferred over to this. So valve adjustment is done. We didn't show you this because they all look kind of the same. One thing we do is always clean that cover, just like we did on the last one, and do our spark plug bolts right there. Every single one of these were loose, which is interesting because obviously everyone says they're tight. We've seen a few tight on the 06s, but this one was loose, so maybe it has been done before, or maybe it's the exception. New headlights look nice. We need to put the bumper back on. The last thing we need to do is the transmission fluid, and then look everything over and see if it needs anything else. How much difference those headlights make. It really does make it look a lot newer. This is the only thing that lets it down now, is to remove all this PPF. Now I think depending on the PPF you use, I think you're supposed to remove it and replace it like every 5 years or something like that. So if you do PPF, make sure you look into that, because this might be a lot of work getting off. I'm not going to even get involved in it because this is the type of stuff that you could damage the paint if you don't do it right. I'm sure if you take it to a PPF installer, they'll tell you how to remove it properly. So someone's going to ask me again about the Emblem fixtures. We're making them as fast as we can. As you see, look at this. This is a original CR, and the emblems are crooked, kind of going downhill. So we can't even scan these cars to get the CR in the right location because the S2000 isn't in the right location. You get it from this angle right here. Doesn't look as bad until you get here. See, it's just lower on the right side of the emblem than the left. It kind of goes downhill. It's not as bad on the driver's side. So this is one of those things. It's like if you buy a yellow car, all of a sudden you see a million yellow cars on the road. This is the problem we're having with S2000 logos. Now we've spent so much time designing this and getting it straight. Every single one of them that we see is off. This one is good. So we've noticed on the driver's side, they're usually good. It's the passenger side that is odd. We just had another one in here yesterday that was the same way. And the yellow one we're working on right now, it's crooked too. Look at that. And we have the emblems in the store too. The CR ones are black. This is what they look like. Really nice. So as for fixtures, I just got 15 sets in. I appreciate you guys' patience because I know you get a notification to say, hey, fixtures are back in stock. And then you get to our site and you go click on it, it says out of stock. I can't believe how quick people are buying these. And unfortunately, it takes a long time to print them. Our friend Jeff is printing these and he's got all of his printers making them. And it takes about 4 hours to make one. Well, now he's just modified his printer so he can do 2 at a time. So we're doubling up production. We're going to keep making these. Now, here's the screw-up part, and it's my fault. I've screwed up and shipped some of these out wrong. I should have let Esther do this, and I messed up. So there's a couple of you guys that's got a couple of lefts, and a couple of you guys that's got a couple of rights. We're making it right. We're paying for you guys shipping. If you do ship them back, we do appreciate it, because like I said, they do take a long time to make, but we're refunding your shipping and we're making it right. One poor guy in Hawaii, we shipped him the wrong one, so I shipped him another one. I shipped him the same wrong, so I think he has like 3 of one side. So buddy, I appreciate you making it, being patient. These are all in the store, so by the time you see this video, they're probably all sold, but just keep in mind we're making them as we speak, and George has been pairing these so we don't make that mistake again. So thank you for your patience. We're getting these out to you. I promise we will make sure everybody has a set that needs a set. Civic Type R t-shirts, it looks like we're down to 7 of large, like 9 of extra large. We still have a few medium and a few small. 2XL completely gone. Small, I think we've got about 8 of those. So if you still want a Civic Type R shirt, get it while you can. Once they're gone, they're gone. We're not doing duplicates of this. Still have a few S2000 shirts with actually the 3 cars in the back. It has the Integra, the S2000, and the CRX. We have them in medium, small, and XL only. I gotta change these numbers. We don't have that many of those.